Relaxing our eyes, relaxing our shoulders, really focusing on completing our inhales before we exhale. Continue to relax your breath. Release your mind of any thoughts outside of your body, outside of your breath. Keeping your eyes relaxed. Let's start with our neck roll. We want to keep our shoulders relaxed as we drop our ear down to our shoulder. Feel free to pick the side you choose to start with. Rolling that neck through the center to the other side. Continuing on your own at your own pace. Avoiding letting your shoulders follow that forward roll. Keep those shoulders tall, open. Making sure your chin is in center before lifting back to neutral. Let's start to roll our shoulders, take them forward. Big shoulder rolls. Squeezing our shoulder blades behind us. Reversing when you're ready. Go ahead and relax those shoulders. Let's keep that right leg tucked into our body. Left leg extends out to the side. Bringing that right arm to our ear and lengthening. Notice how I'm not rotating towards my leg. I'm keeping that open. Take your time to lift. We're gonna rotate our chest towards that front leg. This time you're gonna reach. Walk those hands out in front of you. You're gonna take those hands and walk them to the center here. You wanna keep your hips down, so if you have a blanket or something you wanna put your hips on, if this is uncomfortable, you can modify that way, or you can keep those hips down on the floor as you reach forward. Back so you can see me better. Let's take our time to walk those hands back to center. Sitting tall. Let's extend that right leg. Tuck that left foot into your body. We're gonna start with that left arm up by your ear and reaching out. Chest stays open on this first one. slowly lift yourself back. Sitting tall, we're gonna rotate those hips towards that front leg and walk those hands out. Let's avoid looking down at our foot, keeping your neck in neutral spine, looking down to the floor or at your leg. Walking our hands back to center, holding here. Let's take those hands back to center. We're gonna swing that right leg behind, left knee is gonna follow. We're gonna place both knees on our mats, knees about in line with your hips here. Shoulders pulled back. Let's extend that right leg out to the side. Bring both arms up to our ears. Left arm releases. If you have a block or a pot or a pan or a book, you can place it on there. Or if you wanna reach down to the floor, you can follow me that way. Notice how my ear isn't relaxing on my shoulder. I'm keeping it nice and open. Light. Fingers are extending with the right arm. As we lift, we're gonna start with our arm and then with our chest. We're gonna keep that right leg extended as we sit back on our left heel. Big inhale, shift your weight onto those hands. Let's tuck that right leg back into our body. We're now in our tabletops. Wrists in line with your shoulders, knees in line with your hips. Inhale as you lift and open. Exhale as you tuck and round through the spine. Inhale, lift. Go ahead and follow your own breath. Continue to exaggerate this movement. Let's complete that last exhale. Shift our weight to neutral or to tabletops. Walk those hands in towards our body and lift back onto our knees. We're gonna go into that other side. So left leg is extending, arms reach up. Exhale, releasing that right hand either on something for support or down to the floor. Again, notice that space between my ear and my shoulder. I'm not resting. As we lift, we're starting with our arm, then lifting with our chest, and sitting back onto that right hip. Left leg stays extended. Big inhale, shift your weight forward. And let's bring that leg back to tabletops. I'm gonna turn so you can see me a little bit better. From here, so rather than bringing that movement through our spine, we're gonna keep our back neutral. And we're just gonna sink those shoulders, so your shoulder blades are sinking together, and push away from the floor. How big can you exaggerate that movement? You can take this a step further by stepping back onto your toes and sinking and pushing. Relaxing those knees if they are not already. Sitting back into your full child's pose. On your heels, fingers are reaching forward. Big inhale, shifting back into our tabletops. Let's take that right foot forward. Left knee stays back. If you want to place it on a blanket or something for support, feel free to do so. We're going to let those hips just sink into the stretch. Let's walk that foot out a few inches to the outside of your mat. You can stay here on your hands, or if you want to release to those forearms, opening up the inside of your foot, you can release. Again, you can use whatever you have in your home to elevate if you need to, or you can just stay on your hands. Let's go ahead and press ourselves back to our hands if we are not already, rolling that front foot flat to the floor. We're going to scoot it back in a few inches, taking that right hand to the other side of our front leg, tucking our toes under behind us, lifting that knee off the floor. We're going to extend that front leg as we step forward with that back foot. So we're now in our pyramid. You can modify, maybe you're higher on your leg. Eyes are looking behind you. Again, we want that neck in neutral. Left foot steps forward for your forward fold, tucking your knees into your chest as we slowly roll into standing. Our head is going to be the last thing to come up. Exhale as you push your hips behind you, lengthen through the spine. Left leg is going to stay forward, right foot steps back into that runner's lunge, gently releasing our knee to our mat. Let's take a few moments to allow our hips to just sink into the stretch. Walking your left foot out a few inches to the outside of your mat, opening up the inside of your foot, You can stay here on your hands or optional to release to those forearms. Let's press yourself back to your hands if you are not already. Roll that foot flat to the floor. Taking your left hand, placing it on the outside of that front leg, taking your foot in a few inches, tucking your toe under behind you, lifting your knee off the mat. We're going to take a step forward with that back foot as we extend our front leg for our pyramid. Make adjustments as necessary. Taking that right foot forward to step into our forward fold. Tucking those knees into our chest as we take our time to lift into standing. Head is the last thing to come up. Let's take a few deep breaths on our own. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you release. 2 more deep breaths. And exhale. I'm just going to turn so I'm facing you. 1 more deep breath. We're going to keep those arms overhead. We're going to take our right hand, reaching with that over for that left wrist, crossing your left leg behind you and reaching. So allow your hip to kind of push out to the side. I'm not dropping my chest forward. I'm keeping that open. Inhale, lift. Bring those feet together. Let's step behind with that right leg, holding onto your right wrist with that left hand, and push that hip out. Lift back to center. Bring those feet together. Big inhale. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Push those hips behind you, lengthen through the spine. Place those hands on your mat or on your elevation, whatever you have available. Hop or step back into your plank position. Modification onto your knees if you need to. Lifting those hips back into your downward dog. Make adjustments as needed. Press your head through your shoulders. Push those hips back. Let's lengthen through the spine. Take note, are you favoring one side, one arm, or is your weight distributed on all 4s equally? Bringing your gaze up to your hands, we're gonna hop or step those feet together, rolling slowly back into our standing. I'm gonna turn to the front, but you stay on your mat facing that long way. I'm gonna face this way so you can see me. So we're gonna stand on that left leg. Our right knee is gonna come flex at the hips. Notice how I'm not sinking into that standing leg. My hips are staying level here. I'm going to control that movement as I shift my weight, stepping back into that high lunge. Very good. Let's roll those hips under, bring those arms overhead. Exhale, bring those hands to the inside of your front foot. Allow your heel to open behind you. I'm going to turn again so you can see me. Bringing that right arm overhead. If you need to elevate that arm, you can elevate, or you can stay here on the floor. If your shoulder is rolling forward, then go ahead and elevate that hand. You can also use your forearm here. Placing that right hand on the floor as you lift and rotate your heel back into that runner's lunge. Step back into your plank. Drive those hips behind you for your downward dog. Bring that gaze forward. Hop or step those feet together to your hands. Tuck your knees into your chest as you roll slowly into your standing. We're going to do that sequence on the other side. Big inhale overhead. Exhale. 2 more deep breaths on your own. One more. We're going to shift our weight onto that left leg this time. Your right leg, I'm sorry, I'm mirroring you. Left knee is flexed, hips stay level. Controlling, squeezing as we step back into that high lunge, bringing those arms overhead, rolling your hips under. Allowing your heel to release as we place that right hand on the floor. I keep rotating. Again, you can modify with your elbow on your hand or elevated. Lift and rotate that heel behind you as you place both hands on the inside of your front leg. Step back for your plank. Gently release your knees and sit back on your heels for child's pose. Take a few deep breaths on your own. Use this as your time to recenter. Maybe rock your hips side to side. Maybe walk your hands side to side. Let's take those hands under our shoulders. Use them to help press ourselves up. Scoop back onto your glutes. Bring those feet out in front of you. We're going to take our hands away from support and just lean back. Notice how I'm not rounding back. I'm sitting tall, using your core engaged. Even if that means you're not sitting that far back, staying here, feet stay flat on the floor to start. Arms out to the side. Let's pull those shoulders back. Optional, you can keep those feet flat on the floor, or if you want to extend those legs, you can do one at a time, or maybe extend both. Place those feet flat on the floor. Lift it up. Go ahead and roll it out a few times. We're going to do that one more time. I'm going to add a challenge if you're ready for it. If not, go ahead and pick the version that fits what you're working on the most. Leaning back, take those hands away, shoulders back. Optional, raise one or both legs. This time, if you want to challenge yourself, you're going to lean and lift. Keep those deep breaths for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lean it back. We're going to release down to the floor. Use your hands if you'd like for support. Tuck those knees into your tight ball, into your chest, and roll out those hips, drawing figure eights. With our hip stretch, we're going to keep one knee hugged into our chest, opposite leg extends out in front of us. Start here. You can kind of keep rolling that hip around if you need to. Bring it out to the side. Bringing that knee back to center. You can choose to stay here, or if you want to extend that leg, wrapping your hands behind your thigh. If you have a yoga strap, you can take that and wrap it around your foot, or maybe something that could replicate a belt. Replicate a yoga strap. If you are reaching with your arms, I want you to make sure that both shoulders stay on the floor. So if you're reaching, or your head or something's coming off the floor, go ahead and adjust, maybe lower on that leg. So you have two options here. You can keep that leg extended as you bring it out to the side. Or if you want to bend that knee before opening out to the side, that's fine. I want you to make sure that your opposite hip does not follow or does not release from the floor. So choose an option that allows both hips to stay on your mat. Take your time to bring that leg back to center. Hug that knee into your chest. Place it on the floor. Let's go ahead and switch sides, hugging our opposite knee into our chest and extending out to the side. We're starting with opening that hip. Kind of play, this is your time. You can draw circles, you don't have to. You can leave it out to the side. Taking your time to bring that knee back to center. If you'd like to stay here, you can stay here. Or you can extend that leg using your hands to wrap around your thigh. Again, if you have a belt or yoga strap even, you can wrap that around your foot. Allowing your leg to open out to the side. Again, modifying by tucking that knee into your chest and keeping that knee bent. or keeping it extended as long as both hips stay on your mat. Take your time to bring that leg back to center. Hug that knee into your chest. Place your foot on the floor. You have two options. If you want to slide your feet on the floor, allowing those knees to cave together, you can stay here in your daydreamers. Or you can extend both legs out in front of you for your course. I want you to relax your eyes. Relax your breath. Take note. Feel your body. Are you tense in one area? Maybe one side of your body? Try to release that tension. Keeping your eyes relaxed. Start to add small movements into your fingers and your toes. Take that movement up through your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. Take your time to slide those feet flat to the floor if they are not already. And just rock those knees side to side, starting with very small movements. Gradually making those movements bigger. Allowing your hip to start coming off the floor. Eventually picking one side to let those knees fall over to. Your hip and shoulder will follow. Take a few moments to open your eyes. Give yourself awareness of your surroundings. Slowly pressing yourself back into the comfortable seated position we started with. Finishing with our deep breaths, inhaling overhead and exhale. Inhale, breathe in, and exhale. One more time, we're going to connect our hands into prayer. Exhaling our hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining us on our virtual yoga on Wednesday. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me or your local program manager if you are not located in Corvallis. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Feel free to continue forwarding this series along so that you can participate with your coworkers. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Thank you.